Always be growing. I think about always be growing. This is 21, a podcast mini where I share the top 5 things that I learned in 2021. This podcast series was started at the end of 2020, a pivotal year for everyone where COVID came. And this year, it continued on, and I'm excited to be sharing my key learnings with you today. On this episode, I talk about growth opportunities, specifically challenges that present itself within your life, and sometimes it just seems so much easier to avoid them, to run away, and just try to steer clear from it. But I do see myself going through them quicker and allowing myself to grow and relieve myself from these situations sooner. There are many growth opportunities this year for me. Started writing down the term always be growing. But what are growth opportunities? Looking back over the year, there were some difficult discussions I had to have with clients, with partners, with friends, with personal relationships, whether they had to do with negotiations or something personal. I realized going through these difficult discussions is not easy. It's actually easy to avoid it. But there was one in particular this year that, a friend of mine reached out to me and asked me to do something. But I wasn't comfortable with the situation, but because I wanted to help, I said yes at first. Then I lost sleep that night. I'm like, this doesn't feel right. Because it seems off. So the next day, I spoke with a number of friends of mine. I said, hey, this is the situation that I'm in. What do you think? This is what my gut is. They're like, why don't your gut is this. You got to go with your gut. And then that night, having that discussion with this person and just telling them how I felt. This is it. I'd love to help, but it just doesn't feel right. I'm sorry. And I realized I diffused something that I may have regretted because I said yes. And I wouldn't have done it in the past to have these discussions. It happened with clients this year, with many situations, technical, with partners, and these are growth opportunities. Any difficult discussion is a growth opportunity, and I'm learning to really embrace them as they come in and just have it and just deal with it, Another growth opportunity is that this is nothing new to me, but trying new things, right? I was giving myself permission to let go of some of the technologies or networks and platforms that I've been accustomed to in the past. I was looking at a lot of no code, No code is a new technology, or where we are with technology and the internet is you don't need the developer anymore. Learning from Josh Builds a Biz, my buddy Josh. If you are a business and talented business person, you don't need the developer anymore. And I love developers. I'm a computer engineer, but I haven't coded a lick. But learning all these new platforms like Card and ConvertKit and Bubble.io and how you can build applications, it's amazing. And being a technical person, it even makes it easier because I understand how the API. So I really dove in and launched because of that. I went to Card to quick launch websites. I got to Notion now because Notion is such a cool platform to put all my thoughts together. I found a new platform called Nirvana that allows me to crush out my to-do list and stay focused. Everything from Memberful for my membership site, Ghost for my blog platform, ConvertKit for my email, Discourse for my Airtables, Anchor. It's just a great year for me to try new platforms, but the key was to be aligned to what I was growing and doing as well. So these were, growth opportunities for me
but to making sure that it's aligned. Like, for example, when I was launching the 100X Club, I actually took time to try different member platforms and what it meant to look like. And coming to the end of the year, I'm like, maybe I didn't choose the right one, and I might even change. But that's okay, because it's still in the infancy, and I'm still in the MVP phase of these platforms. All right, and I'm excited.
That's it. Thank you for tuning in to episode number 2 of 21, the podcast mini, where I share the top 5 things that I learned reflecting back at the year that was 2021. It's a podcast mini that I started at 2020. And on this episode, I talk about growth opportunities. Specifically, when I was thinking about this and looking back, I was seeing all the challenges that came up within my life. And this year, rather than thinking about it, running away, or just delaying it, I took them head on quicker and made the decision that allowed me to understand and get on the other side of the 50-50, the 2020 hindsight vision. On the next episode, I talk about another mindset shift, and a very big one for me as I was leaving 2020. It's where I started looking at myself as the talent, as the person that needs to grow, as the one that needs to stand up. I look forward to seeing you there.